Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
And y'all better not start arguing and fighting in here.
We not arguing and fighting. We got Rose. Rick Ross is here. And the brother Freddie. What up, Freddie?
What's up, my boy?
What's up?
You already know, man. The 454 boys in the building. The real classic riders.
Okay.
So if you don't know Rick Ross, I mean, you don't. Rick Ross
you don't know
is doing
Rick
his own
Ross.
car show. He's doing a car show at his on the Promised Land, his own property.
Right.
Now, me and Ross go back and forth about cars, right?
All the time.
But, you know, I'm always honest. Ross, and I tell him that not because he's here, he probably has the biggest car collection I've ever seen in
What
my
you mean
life.
probably?
Show that man some
You and
respect.
Jay Leno.
Come on, this is...
You and Jay Leno.
Okay, that's honorable.
You
That's
and Jay
honorable.
Leno.
I respect
But
that.
Ross
I
got
respect
about
that.
200 cars, and he continues to buy them.
Yeah.
How many cars you got, Envy?
Not 200. Not 200. I got about 20, but not 200. But let's talk about...
I'm going to tell you what they say through the grapevine.
What they say?
I'm going to say, they say DJ Envy got 3 sports cars in a Suburban.
Oh,
what they
that's
say?
it. So you got
That's what
4
they-
cars.
That's 4?
Okay.
Now, Freddie, you've been to my car show, and you've seen the cars that I bring and that I have.
Yeah, I see
and
them,
you've
I
seen
see
the
them.
licenses, and there ain't no payments on none of them. So you know it's more
Nah,
than
yeah,
that.
I see them. I see
And
them.
you
I
know
see
it's more
them.
than that.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about, well, why'd you want to do this car show?
Well, really, I just felt like, you know, growing up, I felt like the car culture was just as significant with the music culture the same way fashion is, you know what I'm saying? And just being real, I always loved doing the dub covers, the dub interviews, and I just felt like over the last 10 years, the culture really been dying out. If it wasn't for G's like yourself, Flex, Greg Street in Atlanta, you know, it's really been dying out. So it's like we reinvesting in what we really own. Because the streets determine the standards.
Absolutely.
Not Rick Ross, not Freddie, not the streets determine the standards, and that's city to city, from the West Coast, East, and of course the South.
All right, so let me do some comparing here.
All right.
All right, so Ross, what is your most valuable car that you own?
My most valuable car to me, it's got to be one of my Trey 5s. I have maybe 20 Trey 5s. You know what I'm saying? 55s, 56, 57, Bel Airs. And what mean the most to me is not based on what I spent the most in. Because he's built multiple $500,000 bills for me from the ground up, frame off. You know what I'm saying? You know what frame off mean, Envy?
Envy, what does it mean?
Absolutely. We start from the frame off. Frame off, there's nothing but the frame, and you start from
Okay,
engine.
okay.
Starts from scratch.
All right, look at Envy with the knowledge. He Googled that fast.
Don't get it twisted. The only reason I don't like
He's
the
getting
old
tight.
school cars is because I don't.
Hold on, you really saying that? You making that statement?
Well,
You don't
let
like
me rephrase
old
that.
school?
I prefer newer cars than the old school cars because the old school cars take a lot more maintenance, right?
That's what Russell loves
Not
about it.
necessarily. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, go ahead.
Not necessarily, because we all know. Because I have a lot of the new cars as well. We have a lot of those, but guess what? After you put 3,000 miles on those, guess what? The value done fell through the floor.
For some of them.
Once one of those lights come on, oh my God, you don't know nobody that can repair that.
Some of them.
Well, Envy, what's your most valuable car?
I got a couple, probably my Ford GT, my 918, but like he said, the car that means the most to me
Yeah,
is
that's
my
my most
E30
valuable.
M3, which is a 1988.
BMW.
And that was one of the cars that the drug dealers had when I was growing up, and I always wanted one. So when I got a little money, I bought it. And that's my baby. Yeah, I brought it to the car. So that's my baby.
And that's what I love to hear the most, because the other cars that cost $2 million, a lot of these guys will put a $250,000 down payment on it, keep it for a year, then swap it back in. Once you become a part of my collection, we keep you until the day I die.
You ain't going
We
nowhere.
ain't trading nothing in, we ain't swapping it out. The lights on, it ain't cranked, they're afraid of it. Nah.
What's the first car you ever had?
The first car I ever had, it had to come from my grandfather, may he rest in peace. That was a 76 Caprice. Yeah, it was an old school. You know, in the South, those old schools mean a lot. So when somebody give you an old school, you copy your first old school. Because being a youngster laying in your room in the back watching that ceiling fan spin, you just waiting on the first day you get that 454. That's all I ever wanted, that first 454 that I owned.
I was going to ask you, where did you get the mentality to invest as much as you do, right? You look at a lot of artists, right? There's a lot of artists that are successful.
Right.
Maybe artists that maybe sold more than you. But when it comes to investing,
Right.
I don't think there's too many people in the industry that invest and has a better winning record than Ross. So where did you get that mind from?
Man, that's just really that's me growing up in my household. That's me coming up, my father, my mother. My mother really gave me that blueprint. And that's what we did. So that's just like my love for cars, my affliction for cars, we turned into a business. Here we are. We having a car show May 21st on my property at my crib. That's $750 a ticket times 750.
$750 a ticket?
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, we separating the little boys from the big boys. And that's what this about, because it's just not about the cars. This is about networking. You feel me? It's big boys in here. We talking big money, and everybody that's got any business to do with the car culture, this where you really want to be at.
So what you get for that $750?
Oh man, you get a lot.
Okay.
The networking platform itself.
Okay, the networking alone is
to
worth...
me, of course, you get to see my whole car collection. You gonna get
How
to
many
see.
cars do you have, Ross?
Oh man, when they finally told me the space they gave me, the space I'm calling Billionaires Row, I'm gonna put 100 cars in that space. I'm gonna put 100 cars and maybe 20 motorcycles. You know, I got race cars. You know, I'm gonna really let them see my tank. I got a tank. I showed them, I got a real Army tank.
Yo,
I haven't put that online. I got the real fire truck. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 NASCARs, 2 real NASCARs. And I'm sure I'm lining up. I'm just letting people see my 5 Rolls Royces at one time, my this, my that. And like I say, we don't trade nothing in.
So no one else is putting cars in the car show?
everybody-
Yeah.
Oh, they okay.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't really need anybody else.
He don't need nobody else.
We didn't. We didn't. The whole car show could have just been all my cars, and then I could have lined up the whole 200 plus. But we want to really just let the culture come together. We want to unify the belts. It ain't about Rose having it all. I want Houston, because Houston going to be in there. One time for my homie Lynn, Turkey Leg Hut. He coming down there with 20 pieces. That's how we calling
in
him.
Houston?
Yeah, I'm doing Houston in
That's
June.
what his
That's
car
after
show
Rose's thing. Turkey's doing mine. But to see the whole thing is the best thing I like about the car show is when you go to the car show, ain't nobody talking music. You just talking about the same love for cars, right? It don't matter if you black, if you white, if you young, if you old. It's just a collective about cars.
Correct.
Nobody wants to beef. You just want to sit there and talk about cars, and that's what I love it for. You know.
And for me, I love to be inspired by the youngsters in the streets,
Absolutely.
the little homies from West Palm, the Haitians from Dade County, the homies from Carolina, Chicago, and that's what it's about. I want to see all the whips. I'm walking up. Who did your interior? Not only that, I'll walk up on you and buy your car from you right then, cash. How much you want for it? Little homie, go get that little pocket change. I want this car right now.
I was gonna ask, so what about your grass, Rose? When all those cars are on your grass and they start pulling off, what are you gonna do about the grass?
I ain't worried about that. We got 400 acres. What's a few acres?
Now, where do you put the buffalo during this time?
Yeah, where do the animals go?
Oh, all the animals, they got their own section. I got my own zoo.
I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
to the side.
When Rose blew the horn on me, Rose did a video where he blew the horn. I was gonna call animal control and be like, he's messing up though. The animals are being disturbed right now.
No, they so far on the
away.
other side.
Yeah.
You
What
got
do
to
you do with
take
those
care of the animals.
What do you do with the buffalo? Like, what
We
does the
love
buffalo
that.
do?
Oh man, he just comes. He let me pet him and I feed him apples, man. You should see the buffalo eyes when he bite into the green apples, man.
What about the horse? Like, what do you do with the horses and all? Like,
They all love each other. It ain't nothing but love at the promised land.
Rose.
The
Are any of them
animals-
these
the
animals
are-
dangerous?
No, they not. They really beautiful.
Goodness
It's
gracious.
a beautiful thing.
Now let's talk music before we get back to the car show. Now,
Too easy.
And when are we doing another album? What's up with Rose and music?
I'm back in the lab right now. I'm back in the lab right now. Before the year out.
What inspires Rose musically?
Dreaming big. Dreaming big. One of the conversations I was actually having with my partner, Brett, my partner. And that's what when I was in Africa, that's what I was talking about. I was like, wow, this is powerful. We got to dream big, homie. We could do more. Let's do more.
You have MMG Africa coming.
Yeah, that's coming this year. I'm signing 2 artists from Africa. I'm doing some more things here. I'm gonna actually announce 2 artists that I'm working with right now. You feel me?
Okay. And so you were really inspired when you went to, where you in Nigeria?
Yeah, I went to Nigeria. I went to Angola, Abuja, a few different spots. And I actually had a day off, and it was Easter. I told my personal homie, my personal guy, Abdul, I wanted to go down to the streets, to the slums. And that's what we did. The cops told us, the cops told us we not going there, and I said, that's fine. And we went down there and we just showed love. And it wasn't even about the money. It's just when, somebody tell you what it means, and you walk and you just see the love, you just want to feed as many people as you can. And, I understand there's bigger ways to do it, but I want to touch the people right here and see their face. You know what I'm saying? And then I just sent that message out that I wanted to meet the president. And in no way am I interested in politics. I just want to know what can I help and do for these people right here. Did you get a chance to meet with him? No, not yet.
I was going to ask you with music. I know you and Meek wasn't seeing eye to eye at one time. How's your relationship now?
Man, you already know, man. Let's stick to the business, man. Let's get to the money. That's what it's always been about. Let's stay focused.
Do you always feel like in this industry it's hard to have friends when you're in business because sometimes it always gets a little cloudy sometimes?
I'm not going to say that because I got, real hitters, man. You know what I'm saying? One time for Gunplay Murdoch, it's a lot of dudes that, the love is really thick. And a lot of times we do have to find our own ways because I was that artist before. When I was young and ain't know really what was going on. And, once I worked my way out of a lot of different situations and looked back at them, I went back to the Slip and Slide CEO, Ted Lucas, and, boy, I appreciate that investment you made in me. I recognize right now, you see?
But back then you didn't, but when you grew, you figured like, I now understand what it was. Kind of like when your dad do something to you, you don't understand.
It's just like being a young teenager in the room.
When you get to that age, you be like, now I get why my dad did that.
Yeah, because there's a difference when you're signed as an artist and then when you become a CEO of a label, you understand why certain moves get made.
Oh, most definitely. You most definitely see what's going on and understand the business. You got to learn and understand the business for you to understand. That's just like being a leader of a country. You got to learn how to lead the peace before you can lead me to war.
Out of all the businesses that you have, whether it's the Wingstop and Checkers and the music and everything else that you own, the buildings, what is the most lucrative for you and what's the most that you enjoy besides music?
I get money so many different ways, big homie. But I'm going to just let you know it's at the same time, the way I move as one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let's try these.
We got to try these right
these
now.
Rosé cheddar wrap
try
snacks.
these, bro.
The goal is to be rich forever. And you have a show coming about wealth. So tell me about that, because I saw you post about it and we didn't have too many details.
I'm going to be honest. I posted about it because I had the whole film crew there and I couldn't even get along with the people for 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so I said, we ain't doing it no more.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah.
That was fast.
So
Yeah.
what is
My
it?
life,
What the
my
hell
life,
happened?
No, it's like the way I move is too real for like a reality show, or even if you warn the people, it's like I would have to be in control of everything. That's what I think it is.
So you didn't like them saying, let's set this scene up? Like, what was it that...
No, I couldn't do it. Oh, no.
Now, recently I seen you bought your daughter a brand new Lamborghini truck.
Right.
Now, do you ever fear that giving her something that big will spoil her too much and she's not appreciative or grateful? Or
Well, how big is it?
Lamborghini truck is big. It's a $300,000 car.
Oh. That's big. That's big.
It's probably 30,000 over, but I'm just asking.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, man. When you on the team with Rosé, you loyal to Rosé, you deserve the finest.
Okay.
You deserve it, and she's a real one. You know what I mean? So she understands what, as you can see, she's about her business. You know what I mean? She don't really get into the small talk, and I respect and love her. So she deserves it.
You collect watches as well, right?
I do.
How many watches do you have, you think?
I don't know. I know I have one that maybe is worth as much as Envy's favorite. Ask Envy
His
how
net
much
worth.
his favorite. How much is Envy's favorite? And we know that. And guess what? I felt really comfortable today. This one of my favorite G-Shocks. Let's bust open the bottle. Let's bust open the bottle, baby.
I saw you bought a $3 million watch that you said is worth about $15 million now.
No. I just
Okay.
purchased that watch last year. It's a $3 million watch I got from Jacob. Hopefully it's at about 3.7 now. Hopefully.
Okay.
Hopefully. But it's a lot of, places where I've seen they've sold a watch for $15 million, but I've never repeated that because I wouldn't, even repeat that as being realistic.
And what do you think about the music industry now with all the new artists and streaming? Do you feel like streaming is kind of like a way of, I don't want to say cheating, but back then when you came out, people had to actually go to the store.
Right. It's a big difference. It's a big difference.
Now you can go platinum and double platinum just being on a playlist, being at the gym. You can just hear a record. You're not necessarily buying it, but because you're in the gym and it's on, it's a lot different. So what is your thoughts on that? Really,
to me, it's not even about what is my thought. It's for the youngsters that's in this generation. It's really about what are their thoughts. You understand? Because the last project I just released, that was my last album with Epic. I kept it tight as possible, clean as possible. My last project, 10 albums, and that album's still outselling a lot of this generation's movement. And it's like, yo, this shit is different. I used to love going to Best Buy, seeing the line going all the way down the street, and you might get a cute chick that might faint every once in a while, and you help her up, and it's like it's just the love, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's like, yo, do the true love match the streaming numbers? Because I would take the love over the streaming any day. And that's why I'm still performing. I just wrapped up the Legends of the Street tour. I'm through with that. But, I'm still moving around. I would rather take the love over the streaming numbers any day, so I'm not impressed with that streaming shit. I'm really not impressed with it.
What are some things that you feel like what are other businesses that you want to get into that you haven't yet?
Oh, Rose need to own a casino or two. It's some things we need to do. You got to realize, Luke Belair, one time for all the brand ambassadors around the world, but the spirits I love. That's where the Rose nickname come from. Growing up in Miami, that was just something that we did. First time I was ever on Washington Ave, it was at Prince Club. Prince, rest in peace to the legend, owned a club that they turned to club level after the fact. But yo, when I walked in the club for the first time, seeing PJ and bottles with flowers on it, different color, what the hell is that? Oh man, that's Rose. Damn, Rose. You feel me? And so once I got into the game and I got to meet Brett Barish, one of the coolest guys in the fucking game, and yo, I got to get on board with the Spirits team and become a brand ambassador, and just to see the brand grow, just to see it spread, and not just in the U.S., I'm talking about all around the world. So for me, it just, this shit is powerful. This is the value we have as influencers, as brand ambassadors, when you partner up with an incredible brand. So as far as the young artists, they need to make these moves now.
Right.
Let's not wait until 15 years after, you've seen your best days. Let's do it now.
We was talking to Pusha T earlier, and he was saying that, one of his biggest mistakes was not getting a percentage of the McDonald's jingle that he created, right? La, 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 I'm loving it. He created that. And he was like, damn, I didn't take it. I took the money. What made you say, you know what, I'm not going to take the money? Or maybe you did take the money and a percentage. What made you think that at that time? Because everybody had alcohol. You were helping, Diddy with Ciroc at one time.
Right, right.
What made you say, nah, this is the way I'm going to do this deal?
Really, it was just about, for one, as much as I loved it, I loved this black bottle more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? That was just the way I vibed. So it just fit with the rosé vibe all the way. Of course, we know, And so it was just natural. And just watching it grow, watching it get bigger.
You can't just be an ambassador. You have equity.
Yeah, most definitely an ambassador. You know what I'm saying? But, this is the boss. You know what I mean? But watching the brand grow and networking with other artists, to me, but that's when the artist side came into it. The music, the visuals, the photos, the connecting. I'm in Africa, working with artists that I never would have knew, maybe if it wasn't for the brand. And so that's why I'm much more attached to this than anything else.
Now back to MMG. Who are the artists on MMG as of right now? I know it's not Omarion anymore. I see you
no.
Omarion.
No. It wasn't even about a shot. It was just most definitely, we've moved on and moved apart. We still Meek, Wale. One time for Wale, we was on the phone yesterday. We finna get ready and drop a slapper for the summer for no reason. Gunplay, Murdoch for life. And then I got some underground artists that I'm really just taking my time with. They own the team, homies out of, VA, et cetera, but we finna kick the door in once again this summer.
With you making so much money on everything else, what still makes you want to do music? Like,
because it's music. Because it's music, and that's why music will always and forever be number one. Because that's what I love most. Coming here this morning, let's listen to music. You know what I'm saying? I got specific requests, right, Fred?
Yeah.
I don't just want to listen to, I got specific requests. So my love and passion for music, the sound of beats, and watching others prosper.
Right.
Watching these same dudes that was in that same position I was in for over 15 years. So it mean a lot more to me maybe than another dude that got in the game, worked on this shit, and blew in 3 years. Which is, I respect that too, but it took me 15.
What were your special requests this morning?
Oh, I told him Slab had his vibe plugged in, and I told him, take me to that computer love era. You know what I'm saying? Take me to that time frame, and when I tell him little zones like that, he know where I want to,
What about cryptocurrency? As a person who is an investor and somebody who's savvy business-wise, and I did see you at a conference in Miami, have you gotten into that?
You know me. You still got to convince me. You still got a lot of convincing to do to Rose, because I love to touch it. I love real estate because I could touch it.
Don't
You
you sound
understand?
like me?
Yeah,
Don't
that's exactly what Emmy
you
said.
could touch
I
it.
said the same
A car company can make another car, but that corner, you got to come by this corner. That corner, this address, you got to buy this address. So the crypto, the metaverse, you got to touch this book. If we're going to release books in the metaverse and poof.
They have book clubs in the metaverse.
That's fine. That's fine.
So nobody tried to get you to do anything in the metaverse? Because your mansion in the metaverse would be crazy.
I've heard that. You could, setting up the promised land in the metaverse, you could rent a room in the metaverse. You could, all that shit. You still got a lot of convincing to do
I'm with you, man.
to the big boss, Ricky Rose. I understand, it's a lot of hustlers that's going to roll the dice. I roll the dice every blue moon too. But if we going to be 1,000 and stand on it, you got a lot of convincing.
Have you used the Oculus and gone in the metaverse yet to
Of
see
course
what it's
not.
like?
Of course not.
I think you need to do it. You know why else I think you might? Well, because people, I think it started off as a lot of people using that like for porn. People were doing like virtual reality. All right, never mind. We'll talk about it.
You into porn? You like porn a lot?
Well, I just know that.
There you go. Yeah, it's gonna go.
No. It's just it's been a lot of sexual talk going on.
Correct.
A lot of sexual talk going on, and I'll get back to you on the porn. I got a question for you.
Ask me.
Oh God, here we go. Ask him.
I love this.
I got a question for
Let
you.
me get some chips.
There's been some fake orgasms going on.
That is true. Facts.
I missed that interview. Just fill me in.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds. What was that about? For everybody who just seeing headlines like Rose, just landed from Africa. Woke up to the headlines.
Got you.
I missed everything.
Got you.
Just even if it's just 30 seconds.
Got you.
We
Fill
wanna hear
me
your
in
side.
on the fake orgasms.
Me and my wife been together since 16, 15 years old. High school sweethearts.
Okay.
I was her first. She was my first.
Okay.
We've been together 27
Too much
years.
backstory. Get to
Married 20.
Okay.
So when we first started having sex, intercourse, I could not make an orgasm. Reason being is I would watch porn, and the first thing you think of a porn is you go, and that's what I thought was being a man. And we had to have a conversation, and she was basically like, no, that doesn't make me have an orgasm.
10 years later.
10 years later, honestly. But we're not just, not through intercourse, through, oral, absolutely. But intercourse, no. So then when we had a conversation and we talked about it, and we talked about foreplay and all the things that a man's supposed to do, we were fine. The reason we wrote a book and we talk about it in the book, because there's a lot of people that go through it and don't necessarily understand and scared to have conversations. So after we wrote the book, I would tell you my DMs and my wife DMs, there's so many women talking about, I'm glad y'all talk about it. I'm going to have a conversation with my man tonight. I'm going to have a conversation with my husband tonight. But that's why we wrote the book and we talk about it in the book.
That's what the book is for. So you pleased her with your mouth.
Correct.
Your jaw game was right for
Early
her.
on, yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank goodness, because
And she's happy.
She's happy, absolutely.
She's happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 10 years of faking
But then, I had to work and figure out what's gonna please my wife. But it's so many things we talk about in the book. Like we also talk about, insecurities. How I was insecure as a young dude, and the reason I was insecure was when my wife went out. We going out to the club. It's people that got more money than me, that's smarter than me, that I thought looked better than me. So as a young dude, I was insecure. I had to grow out of it. Then once you get out of it and you become into your own skin, you become different. And we talk about it in the book because people feel that way. And a lot of times people don't talk about it. So like you look at Charlamagne's book, he talks about mental health. People were scared to talk about mental health. Nobody ever talked about it, but that book opened up a lot of conversations.
Opened a lot of conversations.
Do you think anybody ever faked it with you, Ross?
I'm going to tell you this. I can't tell you what somebody did, but when I'm Rose in his zone, you can't fake that mess they make for Rose. That splash. You would thought the fire alarm came on the way that splash come out. So if you could fake that, you a hell of a
Stupid, man.
You feel me? You can't fake that. And Rose, that's what I look forward to.
He's stupid. You feel me? He's stupid, man.
He's
stupid,
You
man.
feel me? So
Give that to Gia.
So look, I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. Have you faked the orgasm?
No, I've never faked it, but I will not always orgasm. So I never pretended I was, but I will tell you if I didn't. But a woman cannot have an orgasm every single time and it could still be good, but it's harder for us. So maybe like 70% of the time it happens, 30% it might not. Because y'all sometimes finish too fast.
Okay, so I have another question. You won't mind me asking?
Go ahead.
You don't mind?
No, I'm a lip service person, so.
Okay, I like the way that sounds. But are you a squirter?
No.
You're not?
Mm-mm. I've never squirted.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's probably, I guess guys like it, right? Yeah. Some people think it's really messy. Sometimes women get a little embarrassed because it can be really, all over the place. Like, do you change the sheets every time women squirt?
Gotta change those sheets.
Every time.
Can you go to sleep in it or you have to do it right away?
You could doze off. After you enjoyed that bottle of blue, that bottle of pink, you could most definitely doze off.
What if it's in your beard? Do you have to get up and wash it out right away, or?
I don't know. You might. That sounded the way you said it. That sounded like a good thing, but showering up is you may want to freshen up.
Right.
That's a good thing, but you do want that. And wherever that goes at, you could take that.
Okay.
You could take that.
We'll take notes.
Yeah. So,
Now, you know what I always wanted to ask you, too?
Oh, boy.
you always wanted to ask.
Always wanted
Well,
to ask,
not
what's
always, but
Lip
recently.
service, let's go, baby. Let's go.
What happened on the 85 South show where you just got up and left?
this? Yo, yeah.
I think I was just really in the zone. I was smoked out good. I was in the zone. When I'm in the zone and get one of them money calls, I just ease out that motherfucker.
You just
He
left.
got out like he's in a club and didn't get out the back door. Just
I was like, did they do something?
I got two shows to do today.
And I'm gonna be honest. When I found out about it, it was already everywhere online. I ain't even realize it.
You went to the
I was
bathroom
in
and
the
left?
I went to the bathroom, was on the phone, smoked one, and you go outside and you just leave.
Damn.
Rose
I
just
forgot what I
left.
was just doing.
Yeah. Them my little homies too. And you know, them my little homies, and it was a cool interview. We smoking, we chilling and shit, and man,
I was like,
in
what the
zone.
hell happened?
You eat some of those chips, though.
No, I was eating these chips while Envy was telling his story. So.
Shut up.
Now, Ross, have you?
You stopped eating the chips when he was talking about the.
Yeah, I was eating while he was talking about it. It was interesting to me. It was like eating popcorn. Now, have you ever faked an orgasm?
Nah, I ain't gonna fake no orgasm. Baby, if you don't make me enjoy myself, I'm not gonna fake no orgasm to please you now.
So you'll just stop?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If this ain't right.
Just leave.
Yeah, this ain't right. The same way I did that interview. The same way I do that interview, yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I go in the bathroom, flush that condom, and you hear that door slam. Gloof.
Let's get back to the car show. Car
Okay,
show.
yeah, sorry.
May 21st.
May 21st. Now, Fred.
May 21st.
Freddie, now how many
Hold
cars
on.
do you buy?
This the Dade County legend, Freddie. For everybody
Absolutely.
that don't know,
Okay.
this the Dade County legend. I was hearing about him building cars many years before I got my paper all the way right. Homie done built classics. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? I'm talking about he was the only one really with 6.4s in the hood, in Dade County, in Carroll City. It was others, but dog was really doing it. And I just want to make sure he get that proper introduction.
Absolutely. I'm sending him one of my cars. My car should be there next week. But talk about Ross's love for cars and how many cars he buys all the time and where his cars are, from Houston to Atlanta to Miami to Mississippi, and all his cars. Talk about some of Ross's love for cars.
It's funny, right? Because he's like a grown kid when it comes to cars.
Oh,
He really enjoys this. Yo, look. He just bought that. It's like all day long he's sending me texts of things that he's buying. He just bought an army truck.
Wow.
when we was kids, there was a show called MacGyver.
I remember.
White guy loved him. This was his tank. It's called a pig. It's not a van. This is a real tank. Yeah.
So,
You got to always be prepared.
so how do you service all these
21st.
vehicles? Because he has over 200 cars.
I need help. I need help.
need a team.
Yeah, I was just flying back and forth. He'll just call me, hey, fly up here, and I'll just have to show up the next
How do you
day.
wash all those cars, Fred? How do you get somebody to wash those vehicles?
A team, just bring a car wash crew in. Hey, man, y'all knock half off. Y'all start here.
What is your monthly bills on maintenance and car cleaning on those cars?
Oof.
What is that? What is that bill?
He don't know, but I know.
You don't know, but you know.
I know.
Maybe you should build a car wash on the property.
Yeah.
We got something like that. We most definitely finna build our own huge
Museum.
where we could do our own everything. Paint, this, that.
Yeah, he got warehouses with.
Yeah.
We built shops. We got tons of lifts in there. I mean, it's just a full.
It's like some of the cars that he has, right? You know he's
I
not
know
driving.
No.
Like the NASCAR, the tank,
he driving.
the fire truck. You can't drive it on the street.
Of course not.
But he got enough space to
Well,
ride
you
on the
driving
private
it?
side.
Man, we gonna buy a racetrack.
Crazy, man.
I don't know. His car show might be better than yours.
Come on, of course.
Watch your mouth.
Of course it is.
Totally two different
May
shows.
21st, the
Totally
Rick
two
Ross
different
Car
shows.
Show, of course. It's crushing DJ Envy's car show. It is.
Mine is July 8th in Atlanta.
That's right.
Okay.
Ross is
That's right.
first.
And I'm gonna be there.
I'm shipping my cars to Ross's.
Yeah, and I'm shipping my cars to his.
Yeah, I'm shipping
That's
my
what the
cars
real
in
ones
there,
do.
so-
I feel like it's two different audiences for you guys too.
It don't matter. Car
Nah,
show,
you'll
you
be
bring
surprised.
cars.
Well, I mean, it's courses, but I feel like, for Envy's, it's gonna be like a kids,
Oh, you're the kids.
Yeah.
We the big boys. That's right. That's right. She's a genius.
But my show
She's
is
a
more
genius.
it's for family. I got 6 kids, so
Yeah,
I like to
okay.
bring my kids to the show so they can go on the rides and all that. Maybe we'll get some of the rose chips or
yeah,
something.
get some of the
But
rose
that's-
chips.
Mine is for family. But this, $750, this is for people who really are into cars and nothing
Right.
but cars and really looking for possibly buying cars and selling
Right,
cars. So
right.
That's what I'm saying. It's like two different types of events.
right.
It's most definitely two different type of vibes, but at the same time, it's ultimately for the core of the car lovers. Cause I go to Envy shit. Anytime he coming, we make sure we always a part of it. You know what I mean? Wherever it's at.
Absolutely.
Freddie hit me. Woo woo woo. Let's line them up. Let's go.
And you
Don't-
giving somebody
Where's the
key.
now
Uh-oh,
who
what's
gets
going
that?
on
Is it
here?
one winner?
3?
3 winners.
3
In
best of
what
show winners.
categories?
It's just gonna be best of shows.
Best of shows.
Yeah, best of shows.
So it could be old, new, it doesn't matter.
Correct. Truck, a car, probably a bike.
And those keys are, how much are each one of those keys?
These skis are worth $25K.
Wow.
Let's see these kids.
Hey, one time for my Haitian homie, kia no bomba clot, mpaka bat mwe paska mwe say chief.
Bomboclad Mafia.
Yes. Man, I smoke
That's
backward, me
beautiful.
only smoke forward.
Everywhere.
Man,
Never go backward in life. You're supposed to go forward.
you understand? Man never understand, me only overstand.
Overstand everything. Yes,
So look, we giving away 3 of these. One side classic, GM. Other side double R, letting them know we go from the classics to the foreigns. Whatever it is, if it's a Ferrari Enzo, that's fine. Rose got several Ferraris. You dig? You Lambos, whatever it is, and then the classics. That's what I love the most. I love those cars my grandfathers was driving.
So how can people register if they want to register right now?
www.rickrosscarshow.com.
Envy, what you giving away?
Oh, Envy.
I'm not giving away no keys.
Oh, and I'm gonna put it around their neck so that and I'm gonna tell you the media opportunity for the homies that want to just show their cars off, because there's a lot of homies that just love their whips, who just want the world to see they taste, they vibe, the work that they put in, and that's what it is. And it's gonna be millions and millions of people tuned in, and we gonna put these around your neck. The homie Freddie gonna award one. I'm gonna award one. We gonna award a third one. We gonna, get ours, of course. You feel me? And that's what it's about, the culture, man.
I'd love to see it.
We will be down there the 21st of May. And make sure you register. Go on the website right now. Put your car in, or if you just want to be a spectator, or if you want to be media, or if you want to be a sponsor, a vendor, or a food truck, they have those as well. No, food truck sold out, right?
Yeah, sold out.
We got 15 food trucks, so it's going to be something like a fair. You're going to be able to eat, drink, you know what I'm saying, and just enjoy yourself on some real good positive vibes and look at the whips. It's going to be cars for sale, bikes for sale, and you're going to just get to see the work of some of the greatest homies from all around the world. And like I say, homies is on their A game. They bringing the toys out. So bring them out the garage, man. Let the streets see them. You feel me?
My car's in the shop right now, so they will be there.
Get them Knicks. Them Knicks out the cars now.
I'm bringing 6 now. I'm bringing my E30. I'm bringing my Lexus Coupe.
Okay.
I'm bringing my 55 pickup. And then I'm going to bring my Ford GT. You know the Lexus Coupe, the old Lexus Coupe.
Or like the SC400?
SC400.
One day I'm gonna get a car worthy of being in a car
bubble.
show.
I got a bubble. I got a bubble I'm bringing.
Oh, you liked that?
That's my era. 88s, 89, 90s. That's my era. I'm bringing that, and then I'm gonna bring some new toys. That I'm
Do
sure
you got some classics you gonna bring? Come on now, bring some classics.
I got a nice classic.
You
for
can't just bring the shit that they could still find in the auto trader.
I got a 55 pickup I'm gonna bring.
Okay.
55 pickup.
What size motor in it?
You see.
You don't know.
He gotta fix it up now. He gotta jazz it up. You don't know.
You don't know because I'm gonna hold you to it.
No, I do know.
You don't know.
I'll show you a picture. Right now. I got it in my garage.
You know the picture, but you don't know the size.
454.
He gonna know. He gonna notice. He gonna know if it's a 454. Okay.
Can you change a tire?
Me? No, I don't.
No,
change
I was
tires.
asking Ross. I know you can't.
Change a tire on the car?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
too
just
easy.
curious. You can, because Envy can't change a tire.
That's
so.
too easy. You Envy, you know how to change the oil on your car, don't you?
Nope.
You don't?
You?
Of course. I still cut my grass. I cut down trees.
Don't cut your goddamn grass, man.
I
He
don't.
does.
He does.
I don't?
You drive the machine?
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
he does. He
It's
does. See, show a
unbelievable.
video of it.
It's unbelievable.
I seen him, but I don't believe.
Nah.
You don't believe
Nah,
me?
he cuts his grass.
I'm coming out. I want to see you cut the
Nah.
grass. I want to see you cut the grass. Next time, I want to see. I'm
Yo,
wait.
I understand what we doing is unbelievable. One time for Dub Magazine, man. Dub Magazine. Everybody who remember Dub and love Dub, one time for Dub Magazine. You know who else I got love for that I want to work with is Mansory. You know
Yeah,
Mansory?
man. The body kits.
The
Yeah,
body kits.
yeah.
They number one.
Yeah, they know.
I don't know them. I just want them to know that.
All right.
Is there a car y'all can't find anywhere that you want to get your hands on?
We find
It is. It was actually one that Jay Leno showed me. The joint with the one seat.
all the McLaren.
Yeah.
That for
Yeah, the seat in the middle.
you know Wyclef owned one of those and bought it for like nothing, and then sold it, and then it shot up to worth now it's worth like $20 million.
I was finna say his. He told me at the time was worth 17
17
million. I say for one seater.
One seater.
Yeah. That one. That's one that's been on my mind.
My
I ain't ready for it yet.
All
Not
right.
yet.
Well, it's Rick Ross. It's Freddie. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
We the biggest.